So I'm with Vicki Martin, the very glamorous and gorgeous creator. So thank you for joining me. I'd love to know a little bit more about what your business is and the card decks that you've created, because you're very, very inspiring.
Thank you so much, Elisa. And thank you so much for inviting me.
I should just say it's Ayesha. Everyone gets my name wrong.
Oh, Ayesha. I love the
Ayesha.
pronunciation. Oh, I love that. So I am a counselor, and I just, because of COVID, I decided to kind of go into more of relationship coaching. And when I started doing that, I'm finding some people were struggling, and people didn't want to read the books, and people were saying the same questions over and over again. And I used to teach in a college aesthetics for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And I thought, how did I get through to everyone? So everybody has different learning styles. And so when you can get people very engaged and very interactive, it seems like it's a little bit easier for them to learn. They're it's kind of like what we learned when we were in grade primary and grade one is, when you're playing the games, you're learning because you're opening up and you're being, having fun. If I was just standing in the classroom and I was lecturing, 20 minutes into it, everybody's thinking about their grocery slip. They're thinking about what they're doing for supper. Everybody tunes out. So you have to get people engaged. So I have these books and I have every single time. So your ad is so funny. So I'm teaching these people how to manifest. And it was so crazy because we do readings to help inspire people to be hopeful. And I'm doing these readings. And I said, wouldn't it be nice if I could make my own tarot deck with my curriculum? Your ad came up in a Facebook feed, literally within a half an hour. And I went, there it is. This is so amazing. And I was still like, oh, should I do this? And of course, you happen to be talking about programs that I use. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so great. It's just like lined right up. And so I did my very first deck based on the curriculum that I coached a group of people with. So I have this group that is based on this 40 days of a certain type of curriculum. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could just create these cards with each of the processes in these cards? And so mind you, it's 40 days, but some of the days has multiple processes. So I designed a deck. And so a bunch of the girls who are readers and some of the other readers, they have these cards. And they said, wow, it is so crazy how easy it makes for people to comprehend the processes of what they have to do. And it's not like other type of tarot readers where they're trying to do relationships and they're just trying to be, there's this message. This is basically, we're talking about mother wounds. We're talking about all those different things that you have to heal and how to resolve it. And so I was really excited. And then I was like, okay, what is another thing that we need? We need messages from our beloved. We need to go and be really, so that was my next deck. And then it was like, I have all these people who are sensitive to energy and they're empaths. I did an empath and healing oracle. I did a twin flame soulmate oracle. I've done another one on chakras and Kundalini. I did another one on stones and healing, basically like essential oils and etc. And I did a second twin flame and soulmate, the second deck, which were done with the plastic. And you have the choice of having them as hologram or basically plastic with gold. And I'm so excited. I can just keep on doing these.
How many do you have now? It's over 5, right?
I think I'm working on my 6th.
Wow.
I'm working on my 6th deck. And, you know, I used to be a garden center manager, and I thought, you know, I might need to make cards for gardening. And then, so I was a teacher, and I was teaching professional makeup. And I was thinking, oh, wouldn't all my makeup artists, I have a huge selection of makeup artists, people that follow me. And I thought, oh, I need to make a deck for all my makeup artists. So
it's very diverse, right? Great. But it's so much fun. Like, what I get from you is just how joyful the process is of creating them. And it's gorgeous.
You're making it so easy because you have everything well thought out for us. We don't have to go and figure out how to go and create the different sizes of the cards. Your templates make it so simple. And then we use programs that make it really simple. And with you're constantly, like, you're really making it so simple because you have all of this information, you give step by step, you have all these videos. I was able to jump on and make my very first deck within 2 days. I think it was 2 days, and I had my very first deck designed and uploaded. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. But when I received them, they were better than what I was expecting.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
they were. And I have, like I said, there's quite a few different ones that are being shipped out this week, and I don't have them just yet. I do have one deck with me. I have been sending decks out to, you know, different readers, and I'm in the process of making a bunch just to send out to some of the Instagrammers who seem to have, you know, many following them. Just, you know, give them this little gift and see if, you know, if they play them out and see if they like them. And because it would be interesting to see if my concepts can catch on, because I feel pretty passionate about it.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you have any handy?
I do. Now, this is a little case that I put around ones that I do, only because of the fact I'm at that stage where I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do to invest in a very large quantity, or, you know, what kind of boxes, what kind of, you know, so I'm trying out different things. So meanwhile, I have these little bags that I use for those that I send out, and I add a bunch of stones and different accessories to go along with them. So this would be mirror work, for example, and so this would be one of the twin flame soulmate cards. And so this one is, I'm talking about mirror work, where we look in the mirror and we tell ourselves how much we love ourselves, and we are looking at our accomplishments. And by looking in the mirror and seeing how we're responding to that energy, it shows us what we're actually resisting in our life. So these are just great ways of doing out a spread, and how the energies are following through. And so these are the ones here that we're talking about. And these are the size of the tarot. I think these are medium. I think this is the medium, if it seems
medium tarot, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you can see the quality.
Yeah, but gorgeous.
The
back's lovely.
Yeah, they're so I have probably about 30 different decks that I purchased from all sorts of different suppliers. And, you know, there was quite a few different decks that I get very disappointed because you can't shuffle them. They're a little sticky, or they're too thick, and they're clumsy. And it just seems like these, you can feel like a poker pro and shuffle these. And I've noticed that you had guided us with a couple of, you still keep on adding on different printers and different places where we can go and print these off. But of course, make playing cards is like my favorite to go to. And they have different size cards that are square and all sorts of different ones, but I tend to stick with these ones. They're so easy to shuffle.
Yes.
Now these are just,
I love the quality.
Yeah,
it's still my favorite supplier and the one that I use, but like absolutely. I did just add an Aussie supplier, but I'm super happy with this production because the quality is so gorgeous.
The quality, look, I mean, the details in the print is amazing, right? Like
they're really gorgeous, actually. And they feel professional. That's what I like. They're not just printed down at a quick print type of shop and then cut up with the pair of scissors, which is, still fine if you're doing a pack for yourself at home. But yeah, if you want to sell them, this quality is very, very high quality.
And this was this was the first deck I wanted to see by choosing the default quality. This is not the higher quality. This is not the better.
This is the base one, and it's excellent. I actually haven't gone up to the other qualities because I'm so.
My other ones are coming.
Yes, so you've ordered all sorts of different ones.
Yes, I am. I have my empath and healing and my second, basically relationship cards. Those are coming in the plastic card decks. I'm just.
What do you like about plastic? I've never seen the plastic.
So I do have a deck. These ones were not ones created by me, so I won't. So these ones were inspiring because I purchased these off of another website, and I never had plastic cards before. When I went to shuffle these, I was like, oh my gracious, these are amazing. So when I seen that the website offers this option, I think I may have to make all of my cards with this. It's a little bit more pricier, but I didn't want to invest in the plastic until I seen how they were going to come through with just the regular, because I really didn't know what to expect. And it's just, I was just putting a few testers out there and seeing how it would, because pictures, they look good until you receive it, and then the quality could be really poor. No, I was really impressed. Now, a plastic would be, there is no difference. I will say there's no difference in the card, but shuffling them, I don't know.
Like shuffle heaven.
Oh, it's like smooth, like warm butter.
I can see the pure pleasure from the shuffle.
They shuffle so easily. Now, mind you, these shuffle so well. I believe what it is over time, if you are a heavy user, would they deteriorate a little bit? And I thought about it. Now, because I learned tarot off of an old-fashioned deck of playing cards, that's where I originally learned how to do tarot reading many, many, many moons ago. The quality of the playing cards never seemed to deteriorate. So I'm pretty optimistic that they're exactly the same quality as any type of regular playing cards, like a deck, except these are not as, like mind you, I've used these probably 150 times. They seem to like maybe get a little bit of, not scratches, but you can see like slight marks on them from being used so much. And mind you, like I said, I've used them an awful lot. So if that's the case, the heavier coating probably would resolve that. But anybody getting these would feel they got pro quality. Absolutely. Like I have such a collection of cards, and I've probably only felt, I've only come across one deck that I've liked more than this for how they feel. And that's only because it was pretty high quality deck. Other than that, no, the other ones, no, you've got it down.
That's good to hear, because I think the quality is great, and you're an expert, and you've been using card decks for a really long time, and you use them intensely. So yeah, it's great to hear.
I'm just looking through this one. I don't probably have it right here. I probably have it put aside. What I did is this is how I did it. Instead of adding a book, I have two of the cards, and like I said, I don't have them right here with me, and I don't know where I put them. So they would have the back like this, and here I would have two spreads, and in this one I would have directions on like the two spreads, and then they would have directions on how to use those spreads, and then the other one would have information and directions how to use the card. So realistically, this contains a PDF book that you can download, and there was a story for each of the cards, and it's really lovely that I created. But each of these have a story, like they have the information.
So they're complete in themselves.
They complete in themselves.
But people also can get the PDF download, which is great. And I personally quite like not having a book, because I find one of the decks I've got, the book is so small. And even with my glasses on, I'm struggling to read it because the font is so small and the book's like that big, right? So and I think it's nice for people to engage with the card rather than rushing off to read the book as well, and to see what comes up for them and what's obvious for them when they look at the card.
When I'm doing lives, so I have like 750 people watching me. And when I'm doing lives, I don't want to be looking in a book for the information. It makes me seem really amateurish.
Oh yeah, you have to go all in with your intuition.
Right. So I need to have my intuition kicking in. I have to keep my coaching and being on point. So when you put these cards down, the information is right there. You don't have to worry about going blank for a moment. And this is the method of how I've used it. In another deck, I designed it. It didn't really have much for words. However, it's so easy to figure out what the card is about. It's just a way for you to stir up, what do you think this card means, without really trying to figure it out. But I mean, if you were looking at, we mentioned recipes, for example. If you wanted to do one where you pick the card each day and it happened to be one of your favorite recipes, you would probably have a little bit more detail. But the print is so clear. You could actually use a small font and read a lot of details on one card very easily.
That's actually true, because I've got two different fonts on one of mine, and one is like a sans serif font, and so that's very clear and small, and then I have a bigger font with the main word, which is a handwritten type font. And obviously the handwriting font you need to have bigger, but if you just choose a simple sans serif font, people can read that really easily at a smaller size. Yeah, that's a great tip.
I believe I think it's Allure. It's one of the different very script fonts for one of the decks of cards. And I was a little hesitant. I was like needing the bold, and I have to be able to see it very clearly. And then I seen one of your videos, and it looks so lovely. And it prints so clearly. You don't have to be scared. You can, I had these little banners and the script. You can really make some gorgeous different styles. And tarot, I mean, like, you don't have to limit to tarot. So like I had stated, so I teach curriculum. So I created this based on a curriculum. And there was another deck that I used based on one of my books. And it's just a great way to try to, another method for people learning that won't take the time. They're a little lazy. They won't read the book, but they want to go and do the tarot because everybody's doing it. And it makes it fun and it's engaging. And before you know it, within a very short period of time, they're understanding what each of the cards mean, which means they basically read the book. So
it's very accessible, isn't it? And it's more playful than, like, I'm reading some quite heavy books at the moment, about the brain and, neuroscience. And it's like, like I can only read a little bit at a time, and I love reading. Whereas if I could just, consume some bite-sized, gorgeous info about it, it would be great. The key points.
Well, when we were young, we used flashcards.
That's true. I never did, but I saw it like on TV.
So I use flashcards. But you see, I was a college instructor, and so I would make flashcards to help the students, because not everybody is always on the same page when it comes to learning. And for those who are struggling a little bit, I would come up with these different tools because everybody had different methods of how they want to learn. And so other than getting them all up and, actually doing the demos, sometimes I would give, I know it sounds silly, but I would give them colored pencils and the pictures to color in while I'm lecturing, because this way anybody who had struggles with needing to pay attention, because it gave them something to do, right? So you're giving me a beautiful method of how to educate and teach people again, because it's really hard for me to say, hey, grab your no, I have actually, I have done this on my live feed, telling everybody to get their paints and their colored pencils and the coloring books and color, because it's fun. But yes, these cards, and these are not even my favorite. Like, they're fun though, but they're not even my favorite.
Which one's your favorite? Have you got them yet?
No, I only have this deck here.
So the rest are coming from the printer.
Yeah.
So we might have to chat again when you've got the other decks, and you can do a little show and tell for us and show us. And I think as you do more, they evolve and you do different things, and, and try different things. And like you're trying different textures and different types of printing. So it's really exciting.
So the next time we will speak, we'll have the plastic, and I'm going to try some of the different coatings. And I believe there is one where they have the gold edging.
Yes, I so want to try that myself. I'm going to do that on my next deck if it's affordable. I'm not sure what the tipping point is.
It's not very cheap.
No.
Right. So I'm Canadian. So so for those who have to do a lot of conversion here, I'm Canadian. So US is a lot more expensive than ours.
So the Canadian Australian is about the same, like it's 75 cents to the dollar.
For 78 of these, it's $30, which is not a lot. If you get the plastic, it's around 56.
Yeah.
If you get the gold, I think the gold hologram is like 113. So that gold.
Oh my gosh, yes. So that's your professional deck, for professional readers and stuff like that. Would you do that one deck, like for you, like have some in the gold and then some more commercially priced?
So if I wanted to really make some special attention and give it to like one of these girls who can really promote it for me, of course, we're going to add the little bling to
Yep.
it. If I'm going to sell it as a price point, it would be an add-on or an addition. Like I would have two different types of cards that I would
So the
sell.
people are really into it and they want that luxe, gold.
It's probably not going to be a big seller because of the fact that like I said, this is the quality of very, very not special quality. It's just like a regular print. And look at the quality of like even the prints there. So yes, on the edge it would be nice to see the sparkly gold. Of course, to have a deck like, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of a markup because it's a business, right? And everybody's going to have a bit of a markup, but nobody's really going to want to pay that much.
No.
So it's going to be something that I'm not going to have it that people can see how much they are. If money doesn't matter and they don't care, they're going to message me and say, yeah, I want those. I probably am going to take a bite and probably lose a little bit on it because
that's the tricky thing. And that's why it's important to work out, the tipping point of profitability.
Yeah. And so if I go and decide to invest and get like 1,000 of them printed, that's a different story altogether.
Yes. And
so
you can prove your concept by doing the print on demand at a smaller quantity. And then, the ones that take off, then you can order, en masse and order 1,000 or 500. And the price does get heaps cheaper.
And that's the thing too. So for me to be able to qualify to get the benefits of having, when you're looking at printing off 1,000 and then you have your boxes and then you have all of those different things, it's going to add up a little bit.
Yes.
Now, mind you, you're going to save a lot of money that way, but I just don't have the extra cash floating around because the business was something that I have done for years and then I kind of went aside from it. So now I had to start all over again. So I'm kind of basically didn't want to go over my head until I tested out everything. And now that I'm testing everything out, I'm looking at, this seems like it's something I want to do. So I just have to pick and choose what I want to invest in first. Yes. And yes.
And the print on demand allows you that flexibility to test the market and obviously have lots of fun with it.
Yes. And it allows me to use it. I'm not making a lot of profit if I go and get it printed by demand, but realistically, I'm not having too much of a problem with I would like to see I would like to charge a lot less for them, but I haven't been having anybody complain at all about the price point. So I'm a little excited for sure.
Yes. Well done. Congratulations. You've done a fabulous job. And I really thank you for your time and generously sharing your experience about the process and the print quality. And I'm so glad that you're happy with the print quality. With your professional card reading background, it's always a good endorsement for the print quality as well. So thank you so much. You're such a joy.
Well, if anybody comes and asks, I have to point them in your direction because, I am pretty creative. But you just made it so simple. It's all lined up. Everything is set up. All you have to do is basically come, running with your pictures or whatever you have for your information. If you have that, and like I said, I have these books that are, all I have to do is I find if I'm going to go and sell a program and I'm going to sell the program for like $79 to teach them how to, even the Reiki, like the different levels of Reiki. I can go and give them a deck of cards. And so this way they're getting the program, but they're getting it in a set of cards. So anything that I actually offer as a service, I can go and make cards. So you're kind of really helping me. So services, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so I'm really, really excited with it, because tarot cards seem to be something that has really picked up momentum. Everybody's seeming to want to get into it. So for all of the different types of healing products that I offer, and all the courses, like whether it's Akashic Records or whatever, I'm just doing decks of cards for all of them. This way, they can learn this way, get the cards. The Akashic Records one, that would be fun. I think that would have to be next. All right. Well, I thank you so much for inviting me to be part of that. And the next time we come on, I will have all my different decks of cards here, and I'll show you all the samples of the different types.
I can't wait for show and tell. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. You're such a joy. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that. Wasn't it interesting? And I hope you got some inspiration and some tips from listening to this. So if you're interested in making your own card deck, I invite you to check out the Card Deck Creators Toolkit that I've created for people like you who want to create their own inspirational, affirmation, or oracle card deck. There's so many different card decks that you can create. So I invite you to check out the links below to get the toolkit and get on your way creating. And if you've already created your own card deck, congratulations. Share a link below. I'd love to see it. Much love to you, and take care.